Today we'll be diving in an opinion piece that is written by Gitobu Imanyara, who, for those who don't know, Gitobu Imanyara is a veteran lawyer, a publisher of the Platform magazine, and one of Kenya's boldest political commentators. So there's an article he wrote on Sunday on the Standard, and in this article he was very critical of the government. He did not mince his word, and the title is "State House has stooped too low uh, with plastic plates and envelope." Yeah. So in this article, Imanyara is criticizing the growing behavior or trend where there's a delegation being shipped from various parts of the country to State House, yeah, and they are fed lunch buffet and they're handed envelopes that have cash, yeah. So he calls it the lowest form of politics. It's the worst form of politics, and it's the politics that have been going on in the country for a long time. So it's called transactional politics, disguised in empowerment. It's not empowerment; it's just politics that has been packaged well or packaged in an illusion that there's something that's going on. So millions are being spent. Even you have seen the budgets that are coming up from the government and other. They are just ridiculous. And this money, maybe for tea, for what, for printing, this they are in billions. So these billions, instead of being used for infrastructure, education, and health, this money is being channeled into people's into this cheap politics, transactional politics. So I want you to join me today as I unpack this article, because it speaks directly to the kind of politics that is shaping our present and destroying our future. So I want to welcome you to the Hopkins Experience. My name is Hopkins Malova, and in this is where we talk about real issues affecting young people in Kenya and across the world. And these issues include politics, money, justice, relationships, and everything in between. If you are interested in an honest conversation that cuts through the noise, and please subscribe and join me in this journey. So let's start with the heart of Imanyara's argument. In his article, he paints a picture of Kenyans being bundled up in buses and transported long distances from all parts of life, all parts of several parts of Kenya, including Kisii, Meru, all coming in to the State House, only to be served a food and be given 5,000 or 10,000 shillings, depending on where you are coming from. Yeah. If you see, he also says that delegates from Kisii, for example, were allegedly given 5,000 shillings, while those from Meru are given 10,000 shillings. Yeah, even in this distribution, okay, in the is it distribution or in this transaction in politics, people from different regions of Kenya are given different packages. Yeah, depending on how much you how much the president values you. So it is symbolic. Yeah, Kenyans are priced differently, as though they are not the same. Our dignity and equality under the constitution are negotiable. Like there's discrepancies there already. He described it as a transactional politics. Yeah, politics reduced to just filling stomachs and buying loyalty. It is the president and on the administration buying loyalty rather than service delivery and accountability. Yeah, it's just uh, uh, showing just throwing money at any problem. And this is not leadership. Yeah, this is just political theatrics. It's a theater where the president and these people around and the UDA and this government is trying to give us a show. Yeah, it's just meant for photographs and deadlines. That's all they want. But there's empty. There's nothing that comes out of it. There's no change. The 5,000 cannot even do anything. Yeah, if you give me 5,000 today or 10,000 today, by evening I won't have that money because of the responsibilities I have. So the government is solving daily issues with money rather than having sustainable development that can actually develop the country to a better place. So at that point, I agree with Gitobu Manyara saying that it's just theater. There's nothing that we're getting out of it. Now, the part that really hit me in this article, where I think where the author Gitobu Manyara himself tries to paint the real cost uh, of this kind of theaters, this kind of theatrics, political theatrics that are being played by the president, and it's just this fairing people, feeding, handing out this cash is an expensive affair, and I want to assure you that does not come from the president's pockets. It comes from my pocket and your pocket, the taxpayers' pocket, the public funds that we are pulling together to develop the country is the same amount of money that are being dished out, uh, like it's nothing, dished out like njugu, unapeana tu kama ni njugu. And the man used to rent a house. It's in billions, yeah. And I'm sure even if they're not even accountable for the money. They don't know who they're giving. They just take around a huge chunk of money, give here and distribute. And we've seen even people getting stranded in state house, meaning even not everybody gets the money when they get there. Getting stranded, they cannot get home. The buses have left them, and the vulnerable Kenyans who actually need that money. Yes, it's true, they need that money. So if you tell me, come and give you 10,000. How it is you are, and I know I have problems here and there. It's difficult for me to negotiate. Yeah, you're already messing up with my. You are not, and that's not what why we elected this kind of these leaders that we have. It's supposed to be that you make policies and don't throw money at everything. Make policies that actually are sustainable in for the future, not just here. So Manyara calls this culture wasteful and unconstitutional. Yeah, and under Article 232 of our Constitution, it demands that public money to be used efficiently. Yeah, and to be accountable for every money. So when money is being channeled in this way, the results are just opposite. Yeah? There's so much waste. There's so much inefficiency. There's so much secrecy, which the government should not be secret about our money. There not be secret about. There should be no any secrecy about the money that we contribute in terms of in terms of taxes. The government should be 100% accountable for it. This way he says, let the president demonstrate physical discipline at the top, suspend lunches, stop these handouts, and prove that sacrifice starts with the highest office. Sacrifice starts with the highest office. The highest spenders in the budget, the highest spenders but in the expenditure is the executive. Is the president who is spending a lot of money. 36 billion innovation, I don't know how many billions in printing and doing stuff. 2.2 million per day in printing. Some millions in tea. What kind of tea are you drinking? And we had the president fast on Wednesday. You should even fast all the days. Eat once per day, have lunch to save this money because we're in a very bad place that requires accountability throughout, requires efficient use of the limited resources that we have. So if we are throwing money at everything, we are giving out money anyhowly, yeah, without concrete plan, without policies in place, without accountability. That money we know 100% it's coming from the taxpayer's pocket. It's coming from the money we pull together as Kenyans to do this. So I could not agree. I could not agree more. If leadership is about sacrifice, then the president should start. Yeah, because the state house just spends the way they want, and I don't know if there's anybody who's looking at it. If you look at the audit reports, from the office of the auditor general, if you look at the control of budgets report, those two amazing ladies, whatever they are doing, I love that. You will be shocked. It will give you nightmares. It's expenditure in just its worst form. So the president, this article really exposes the behavior of the president, the bad behavior of the president and the executive. When I mean the president, it's the whole structure, everybody in that line, because there has to be somebody who can tell the president that things are not working okay, but they seem to support it. It might look like this just a simple practice that does not have any implications, but it's a very dangerous practice. Yeah, Gitobi Manyara here says that politics of handouts is dangerous because it divides Kenyans. It's actually true. It divides Kenyans. And if you can look back, there are other communities that are asking why are you not being called? Why is my community not being called in State House? Even the Talai elders or the Nandi elders, their Nandi community, they've not been to State House. So everybody will want to go there. Yeah. And it seems that the president is being very he's dividing people. One group gets 5,000, another one gets 10,000, another one that the president maybe does not assumes they are with him. They cannot go to State House because he assumes you are with them. So why is he trying to convince you? So it sends a very dangerous message, but it's not, and that's not a message of unity. It's a message of division. At the same time, Kenya is a growing a growing democracy. We have one of the best and the newest constitution in the world, which was promulgated in 2010 August. Yeah, so it's around 15 years. This year we're celebrating 15 years of the constitution, and we have a structure on how we want to be governed, a structure on how we Kenyans came together and agreed that this is how we want our things to go. So it doesn't, when you start giving these handouts, you are cheapening our democracy, you're cheapening what we agreed on as Kenyans. And citizens stop demanding accountability, and instead they start waiting for envelopes. You are now making us become fools, of which that's not what the constitution wanted us to be. Clever enough to defend it, clever enough to improve it, but not cheapen it, whereby accountability is met by envelopes, accountability is met by threats. So it's not a good thing, and leaders have now stopped making good policies. If you look at this parliament, I think it's the 13th or the 14th parliament, it's one of the worst because the president throws money even at the politicians. So they stop making policies that really come at the heart of the people, what the people want. They make policies that the president wants based on the price that he was given. And so many policies that have been made, including SHA, including house levy, including all the tax policy, the finance bill, have been coming up just because the president wants it to be that way, which is not good. And if money was not being thrown this much at these people to just influence them, then we will have one of the best countries in the world. But if you go throwing money at everything, then it's bad. And that's why the young people like us, the Gen Zs, we're really frustrated with this kind of government because we can see through the bullshit. We can see what the government is doing, and the people that are being cheapened, our parents, yeah, the people who maybe did not get the good education, people who have been conditioned to follow instructions, people who are conditioned to these handouts. They're the people who are being fueled, and most of them are the majority of the voters. Yeah, majority of the voters in previous election. So the president is tactful in his handouts, and we are tired of being reduced to statistics and stomachs. Yeah, we don't want envelopes. We want to have real opportunities to develop the countries. The billions that are being thrown at people, why can't you push it to manufacturing? Why can't you push it to production? So that I can be on a salary where I'm getting 10,000 every month, and I'm also contributing to the taxes of the country. I'm doing something good to the country. Rather than giving me 10,000 today, go give my friend 10,000, go give the other community 10,000, give this one 5,000, divide those who have been given, those who have not been given seriously. That is not the country that we want to live in. We want to have justice. We want to have jobs. We want to have life. We for example, somebody like me, I'm already a parent. I'm already learning a family. So I have to know to see the president do things that will have a positive impact, not only for me, but also for my kids. Not only for me, but also for the future of anyone around me. Because if there is this inequality, there's this disunity, then there is nothing we are doing. There's nowhere we are moving. And if leadership, if the Kenya leadership, especially the president, keeps ignoring this reality, then the protests that we've seen over the past 3 years, there'll even be more. He wants to come in as a second for the second term. Tell me, how can you come in for the second term and this is the kind of behavior you are exhibiting to a learned generation? For now, the highest population are the Gen Zs. They're not the largest voters, they have the largest population. Now they have to convert that population into votes. The largest votes remain our parents, our older brothers, our grandmothers. Those are the majority of the voters. So but now the agencies, we have come of age now. We have come of age. We are running businesses. We are paying taxes. We are doing what? We are running families. So it gives us another opportunity to seek accountability from this government and make sure this government works, and not only works for us, but works for every Kenyan equally, no matter where they come from. Yeah. So the president is doing this thing wrongly, and I hope he actually knows. I hope somebody is telling him that you're doing this thing wrong. This situation, what I've gotten from all this on this article is that our leadership is at its lowest level ever. It is lowest because there is a framework in the constitution. There is a skeleton on how we're supposed to lead. There is a framework on how the president should do, what the people should do, what the parliament should do, what the judiciary should do. There is a clear way that we should follow, but we are not following that. We're actually going. It's bordering criminality. We are now a criminal nation. That is true, and the leader of the gang, is the president. Yeah, so it calls. We are just two years away from the election, which means there is an opportunity for us to change the leadership, to change the way of politics, to move away from this kind of backward politics that really cheapens our democracy, destroys our future, and puts us in constant poverty level. Constant poverty throughout. There's nothing like empowerment that comes in. President came in, and when he was coming in 2022, he packaged himself as disciplined and hardworking. Disciplined and hardworking. And a person who knows what the common Kenyan know. The common Kenyan, the 96% of Kenyans, let's say the 96% of Kenya. I'm using 96 because in Kenya, only let's say only 4% of people earn above 200k, 200,000 shillings. So the rest of the people, most of us are poor. Let's just say the truth. Most of that poor. We're just masking our poverty with clothes, with good English, with just presentation that makes sense. But we are poor. If something happens today, there are so many fundraisers that we are doing, of which we don't need those fundraising, because yes, we have to help each other as Kenyans. Yes, that's 100% true. But even the person who is helping, he's taking part of his resources to do what the government is supposed to do. If I was supposed to invest 10,000 shillings and one of my friends is sick, I'll not invest the 10,000. What will I do? I'll go help. But now imagine if the government was taking care of that. The 10,000 will be mine. I'll invest, I'll multiply it, and it will just be a very smooth running government if things are working. The government does not even respect its citizen, and that does not treat us as equal. If you can see, beyond the mouths, beyond the mouths, the feeding mouth, the buffet that are being given in state house, beyond the photograph, for the photographs, the social media, leadership is about solving problems. Yeah, not staging wars, not staging shows. It's just a show. We come here and make a show. We are not even have. If you ask the president what are we supposed to do next year, he doesn't know. He just knows he wants to be re-elected. And we did not elect the president to be re-elected. We elected him on a 5-year contract. We shall review if he has performed or not for us to get above that. Yeah. So if the president really wants to show unity, let him start building schools. In his home county, in his home county and home county and home region of Nandi, or Gishu there. I wish you could see the schools that are there. Yeah, even if the schools are in a bad state, but they're not being built. They're not being improved. Actually, now more kids are dropping out of school because the quality of school is the quality of education is low. The requirements are high. The capitation from school from government to schools just doesn't make sense. So if we start distributing resources equally without these theaters, without these political shenanigans around, then there is a chance. So in conclusion, Gitobu Imanyara's article really is a wake-up call. Yeah, it comes in to remind us that politics of envelopes and plastic plates, as he calls it, is not leadership. It's actually humiliation. It's the president trying to drain our resources, divide us, and keep us stuck in this circle of dependence. When we see a politician, we know the politician is here to give us money, not to develop, not to transform, but to give us money. It's a circle of dependence. And Kenya deserves better. We deserve leaders who respect us enough to serve us. They just serve. You go there with the heart of serving, not feeding us. We can feed us. We have hands. We can feed ourselves. Eh? Leaders who measure the success not by how many envelopes they have given out, not the handout, but how lives have been transformed under their leadership. I don't know if the president knows, but this is how he's supposed to lead. So there's a challenge to it's a challenge to you, challenge to every Kenyan. So the next time there is this money handout, you need to ask yourself, what would have this money done? Yeah, it have been given a classroom. It would have built a class. It have been built. It would have been used to build a hospital. You know, these are the things that the money should do, but it's not doing that. Our money should do, but the government does not even try to do it. We have actually graced from where we were 10 years ago. Yeah, we have gone back. So I want you to go if you can access it. I think Gitobi Manyara is on Twitter. I got the article on Twitter. Go find the article, read it by yourself, and internalize it. Read it, understand it, and introspect. What do we think about it? So it's a good piece. Yeah, and I think Gitobo is a seasoned lawyer. It's somebody I respect a lot. That's why I read his pieces. His thinking is really nice. So you should read his articles. There's other articles that I'm looking at, including the one by Irungu Kangata, the governor of Moranga. So they're good writers that they actually want to shape our opinions and spread this message that good leadership exists. I want to thank you for staying here with me up to this time. My name is Hopkins Malova, and this has been the Hopkins Experience. And if you believe Kenya deserves more, Kenya deserves better, come here and go to the comment section and tell me, and or let's discuss what we really want to do. Let's push dignity and accountability in our Kenyan politics, because our life really depends on it, because the future we have, the future and the future we are building as young people is not only for us. There's a country that we're going to leave behind for our children and our children to come, and their children to come, even our grandsons and daughters. It's a circle. We have to leave a country behind. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you in the next. Thank you.